Sarah, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Fast. Alongside me, like every week, is manager Jacob. And as always, I'm very curious what you are drinking right now.
Well, Sarah, I have brought this evening that we're recording this evening. I need a little hit of sugar and a little bit of a buzz. I'm kind of on your heels. But I'm drinking regular Coca-Cola.
A regular Coke?
Yeah.
See, regular Coke makes my teeth feel weird. Like I can taste the layer of sugar on it. But for some reason, Diet Coke doesn't do that for me.
I think like as a kid, someone said something bad about Diet Coke to me, and then I just had a negative perception.
Really?
My whole life. Yeah.
Really? So you never drink Diet Coke, like ever?
No. And then it's a taste thing for me where I like can't get over the taste of it.
Interesting.
So I don't mess with it. Yeah. So I just go to regular Coke.
I can't do it with regular Coke.
What about you? What are you drinking?
So I just got back from my trip to Europe. You were going to be dealing on this.
Back.
Thank you. You're going to be dealing with a little jet lag, Sarah, on this episode. So my brain's working at probably more like I'm not going to talk as fast. Everything's going to be a little slower. That's just
today's talking slow.
Today's talking normal, I guess. But our last part of our trip, we were in Amsterdam, and we went on the Heineken experience, which is like their brewery tour. It was really cool. Did you watch my vlog about it?
Not the experience. No, I think I missed this one.
Jacob hasn't watched all my vlogs. That's fine. No, it's fine. So the Heineken experience is different than a regular brewery tour. And I don't know, it gave me a new, not even like the experience of the
Wait, were you on the boat?
Not on the Heineken experience. I was on the boat a different time.
Okay.
And I was drinking wine on the boat. I wasn't drinking Heineken. Anyways, the whole thing is I've been drinking Heineken. And I was sitting there drinking my Heineken. I was like, this is an underrated beer. And I know it's a world famous beer, but I don't know anyone that goes to the bar and gets a Heineken. Is it you? Are you the person?
It's me. I've done that for years.
Really?
Yeah.
But it makes sense because you're a soccer fan. So like it's really associated with soccer culture.
Okay.
They've subconsciously gotten you because they were like Champions League sponsor. Yeah. They're a FIFA sponsor. They're all these sponsors. But I was sitting there. I was like, this is a great beer. I'm going to start ordering Heinekens at the bar more.
It's a solid beer.
It's a really solid beer.
There's a little bit more going on than like your typical lager.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
What I mean?
But it's smooth. Like I literally turn to Nolan and I go, why don't we drink Heineken more often? He goes, I don't know, it's Heineken.
Is Nolan a Heineken drinker?
No, but it's not like it would pick it up at the LCBO.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna be more of a Heineken girl now. I was sitting there like, this marketing worked on me.
That's huge.
Good. Yeah, it was good.
Oh my God, I used to get with a few friends like in university. We would fully like for a kind of a pre, we would go to the LCBO and get a Heineken, which is like
the little mini kegs.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the only time in university we got them because it was the mini kegs.
Which is fun, yeah.
Baby
and
kegs.
I think it's only like 5 or 6 pints or something like that.
I bought a baby keg once and I just walked around res with it the whole night.
It looks cool. It's a cool accessory.
Yeah.
Sarah, what are we reading or watching this week?
So reading, I've been rereading my favorite books as a way to keep getting me out of this slump. So on my trip, I bought Beach Read, which is one of my favorite books of all time by Emily Henry, and it was the UK version though, so the ending is slightly different.
Oh, really?
Better version. Ending's better.
No way.
And Ted Lasso came back, which is like one of my favorite shows of all time, and it's another reason why Wednesdays are the best day of the week because now Wednesdays our podcast comes out, Survivor comes out, and new episodes of Ted Lasso drop.
It's content for days.
I mean, it's meant to be.
Do they drop it one episode
a week, yeah.
Okay.
But they're longer episodes right now. So
and is it season 3?
Season 3, it's possibly the last season. They haven't confirmed if it's not.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I loved season 1 and then I couldn't get into season 2. Massive Jason Sudeikis fan though.
Same. I have a huge crush on him. Like a massive crush. He's like, yeah.
And did you see that he and Olivia Wilde were spotted together?
Well, I mean, they've kissed together. That's like not surprising.
Maybe they'll kiss.
Maybe. And what have you been watching?
Okay, you know how I said, I think when we first started this podcast, I never really binge shows.
But you've been more of a binger recently.
I'm a binger now, yeah.
Wow.
And I'm excited about 2 things right now. First, Succession season 4 just dropped
seen it
this past Sunday. Really?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It feels out of character.
If it's not for you, it's not for you. And if you haven't got into it, that's fine.
But I've never even tried to.
It's a fantastic show, though. I love it. Season 4, first episode just came out on Sunday. Great episode. I'm excited for this season. And then I also just binged the entirety of The Last of Us.
Again, seen all the buzz on the internet, but I've never seen The Last of Us.
Yeah,
either.
You know, it was good, and I would say it's like a binge-worthy show. Like I could see it being quite slow.
Is that
if
also
you were watching
HBO?
It week over week. Yeah, HBO got just some great episodes,
they always have
great
the really
shows right now.
Stuff. Ugh.
Sarah, what are we listening to this week?
When I was on the plane, I downloaded a bunch of episodes of a podcast that I love called Every Single Album. It's from The Ringer. A girl that I kind of know through Twitter, Nora Princiotti, hosts it with Nathan Hubbard. He used to be the CEO of Ticketmaster, actually. And so he's like a big music industry guy. And they started with when Taylor Swift was re-releasing her music leading into Fearless Taylor's version. They went back to every single album of hers and like broke it down, talked about the songs, the era that it was in. And then now they do it for like One Direction. They've done it for Harry Styles. So now it's just every single album itself is like a concept, but they did a reaction to the first weekend of the Eras tour. So they broke down the set list. They actually done a prediction. So they looked back at their predictions on like how many songs actually made it on and everything. So I've been listening to that podcast and I really like it because I'm getting excited for my Eras tour show, which is in June. It feels very far away though. I might go to one before that.
And that's fitting for this episode as well.
Yes, exactly. What about you? What have you been listening to?
You know what? I'm just continuing my country kick as well. I've totally trained, I think, my Spotify account to just be giving me all the new country. Luke Combs has got a new album.
So good.
Couldn't tell you what the album's called because I just hit boom, let's play that. It's great. It's fantastic. All country albums are like super long too. What's that about?
Why? How long is this album?
I don't know. It seems like 1,000 songs
long. 1,000 songs. No, but Luke Combs can put out 1,000 songs, so it's fine. They'll all be good.
100%. No, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I've loved that throughout the course of this podcast, and we're only like 11 episodes in, you've become a binger and a country music fan.
I've completely changed my content viewing and watching abilities.
Next up, you just have to watch Nashville. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you've likely found yourself at a T-Swift dance party over the past year. And if you haven't, then this is your sign to attend one. This team has hosted over 54 events across Canada with over 37,000 attendees and donated just over $100,000 to charity in doing so. What started as fans wanting to connect with other fans has turned into enchanted nights dedicated to elaborate costumes, friendship bracelets, and belting the all-too-well 10-minute version. I've been lucky enough to know these two since our days at TMU. Please welcome to Talking Fast the co-founders of T-Swift Dance Party Canada, our friends Miri and Victoria. Welcome.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
I know the intro part's always so awkward because then it's like I'm reading this, then you have to be like, hi, welcome.
Good reading.
How are you guys? You guys just got back from Vegas from the Eras tour. Yes. I want your initial thoughts, reactions to that before we dive into the show.
I feel like I'm still processing.
Speechless for sure.
Yeah.
How long has it been? How many hours since the show ended?
I know you'd think you're counting up to it, but I don't want to think about how long it's been since. It's been too long.
3 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw the Friday.
Did it live up to what you had built up hype-wise in your minds?
It somehow did.
I would even go as far as to say surpassed. Like I know that we
wow.
build so much about it in our minds, but Taylor did such a good show for like every single seat in the house.
Yeah.
And that was incredible. And the way that she like fit together her eras, and it still felt fresh even though I had watched the stream on TikTok twice already.
It's okay. I've watched everything.
Vic and I we had very different takes. Vic fully live streamed the entire show and I refused. I went off social media.
You didn't watch anything before?
Nothing.
Oh my God. I know every outfit she wears for every song at this point.
I only had to wait a little bit. So I figured like I want to be fully surprised. And when she dove in, well, I don't want to ruin it for other people, but
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Skip through the 10
When
points.
she dove into that pool and then came up and like walked up the ladder to that cloud, I nearly lost it.
Out of context, that sounds like a very bizarre like
That is a
dream you
huge
might have.
production, yeah.
It was pretty bizarre. It's why
Had you guys like seen Taylor before?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like her shows are always very like Jacob's never seen Taylor Swift.
I haven't.
Her shows are always
Not
very
yet.
grand, extravagant.
Yeah.
I do have an extra ticket. I keep waving this extra ticket around. I have one extra ticket.
Where are you?
still.
You're going
Pittsburgh.
to
To go.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
And you were in Vegas, right? It was
Yeah,
Vegas, right?
you have to go to the U.S. because she's not coming to Canada
Yeah.
yet.
This I know.
You don't know yet.
We're waiting.
So for those fans that can't see Taylor yet, a way that they've been able to still embrace screaming enchanted at the top of their lungs has been through your events. So I want to know the origin story of what made you guys throw that first T-Swift dance party, because that was December 2021?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just over a year ago, you're coming up on a year and a half of doing this. What was the inspiration for that first one?
Honestly, I think it all really started with, it was like this viral video. It was like an OG TikTok just after I got on the platform. And it was this girl in Australia when they were all open and we were not open here during COVID days. And she was just belting her heart out and dancing and looking so happy singing to Taylor Swift. And really we all just started chatting about it in a group chat and talking about how much fun it would be to do that in Toronto when everything was shut down and we just wanted something to do. And we ended up just deciding we were going to throw a little event for our friends. And I don't even know. I think that night I'd gone for dinner with someone that I knew who worked for Daily Bread Food Bank, and they'd kind of inspired us to do the fundraising aspect. And soon we launched the event, 250 tickets. And my favorite part of the story is that we put them on sale, and literally like 30 seconds after we released them, they were just all gone, and we started getting DMs from people. And we all jumped on FaceTime and like fully thought we broke Eventbrite. Like we
or that it was like a glitch, like there was bots,
something
or
happened.
we didn't set it up right, or whatever.
How are you marketing it?
That's the wild thing. We initially thought like, okay, well maybe if each of us bring like 10 friends, we could fill like a small bar, like
Yeah.
the back room of something. But with that viral TikTok that Miri mentioned, there were a lot of people in the comments saying like, oh, this needs to come to Toronto. There's even someone who had posted a TikTok saying, why isn't this in Toronto? So we messaged those creators, like the people who like did leave those comments and who did make those TikToks. So we leaned into that, the people who are already asking for it. But I think a lot of word of mouth, like a lot of word of mouth, our personal social channels.
Yeah.
Well, and that was also a time that people were hungry for events like that, right?
That's, I think, a huge part of it. Like, I don't want to say we got in on a trend really early, but that's definitely a bit of it. And I think we just tapped into creating this kind of community that was so much about like personal DMs and responding directly to people commenting on our TikToks. And soon enough, we had a lot of followers.
So you guys did the first few in Toronto. I think I attended it was your second event that you had done in Toronto. The one that was at Arcane. That one.
Yeah.
Wild night. It's the most crazy part about these events is that it was like 8 p.m. and you're like in this, because like they used to start, like you guys used to always do them like before like club nights started, when they were like, you guys were having to show legitimacy, right? Like, oh, we can like bring a bunch of people, and the club promoters still want like their like guys buying booze and bottles later. So it's so funny because you're like belting the L2L 10-minute version with like all these people, and I'm looking at my phone, and it's like, oh, it's 9:30. Like it's not even late. I could go home and still get like a good night's sleep.
I hate to say this, but we've definitely done some at like 5 p.m.
It's
even
like still
still.
light when you
Really?
leave.
Yeah.
It's still light when you leave.
I don't
Stampede was
mind-
5.
I don't mind that. Stampede doesn't count though. People are drinking the
It's
whole
true.
day.
I was going to say, do the vibes change from 5 to 8 p.m. or 12 or
Not really.
eh?
Yeah.
The energy is wild no matter what.
It's always wild. So at what point, because you guys have now done cross Canada tours, you've done it in like every single city. At what point did you realize, oh, there's like the appetite to do this elsewhere? And then what was your first city that you traveled to for it?
I think it was probably after we released one TikTok video that was in Arcane. I think it was the one that you were at, Sarah, actually, where it had like the Gilmore Girls on the screen. It was like a compilation. For those who haven't been to an event, we like to like pop in little pop culture references to our events. It makes it more fun. And that video blew up to like, I don't know, 2 million views
that one
or
had
something.
a few million, I
pretty quickly.
remember, yeah.
Yeah, and so then from there, we started really tacking on followers. But more than that, it was just so many people commenting on our videos, being like, come to Edmonton, come to Winnipeg, come to Fredericton. And eventually we were like, well, maybe we should. Why not?
It was Ottawa, I think that was our first next
Yes,
one. And
it
honestly,
was.
I was probably one of the most critical in the group, being like, it's going to be more work than it's worth and whatever. Thankfully, I was overruled. But yeah.
So you also have, you mentioned like including some pop culture references, the Gilmore's Girl reference and whatnot. And okay, I'm not one of these people, but for anyone who might be a skeptic of like going to an event where no one's playing live music, you're essentially listening to one of your favorite artists, what else can someone expect who hasn't been to one of these events?
I love that question, actually. I think it's all about bringing those like extra special moments that everyone in the audience is going to get. So it's like a shared cultural experience. So Gilmore Girls, there's a crossover with Taylor Swift. Euphoria, there's a crossover with Taylor Swift. Giant heads of Jake Gyllenhaal's, I don't know if I can say his name, that have He Who Must Not Be Named across his eyes. That's something that Taylor Swift fans are going to get. And so it just becomes this like shared moment that everyone enjoys and laughs at and has fun too.
And I think there's a benefit to the fact that we began and continue to be like a group of friends that just run these for fun more than anything. We don't have like some big entertainment company behind us approving what we do and don't do. So like if we were to say we want to put, Jake, he who shall not be named, head like on a stick and blow it up. A parent company might be, or like a manager might be like, let's see what the legal department has to say about that. Let's see. I'm not sure we should do that. It might not be like appropriate.
But we're like, how fast can we print it?
Yeah. Can we print 4? And like, so we were able to kind of go ahead, I think, with edgier ideas and some more like faster turnaround ideas than like a bigger company would have.
And it also proves that it's like run by fans then that way too, right? It's not just like, because now I'm sure you guys obviously know, like tons of these pop up now, and like lots of random bars and whatnot try to like capitalize on this. And look, like you guys have said, there's been like other places I've done. It's not like you guys like invented the wheel on doing this, but in the way that you do it differently, for sure. So I think it proves that it's real fans running it, and it gives something different and extra. And the one that we're hosting, I already have so many ideas for like the video screen. Oh, no, actually, after we agreed to do the event, tickets went on sale, and the next day I edited a video screen video. And I sent it to him. I go, I was supposed to be doing other work, and I made this entire compilation.
Do we keep it? We don't spoil it. Yeah.
No.
I have to change it now anyways because the whole show is out now. Spoiler.
I finished it last night. Anyway.
It's enough reference points for it. My entire For You page is just like compilations.
Totally.
Oh my
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Did you guys have event production experience before you took this on? I know you just said like when it first kicked off, it was say relatively small, but you still have to book a venue. You still have to like coordinate all this printing and whatnot. And now it's blown up to be like a lot larger of a scale. You're touring around the country. So like, do you have a background in this, or has it kind of been something that you've learned as you've gone?
Very conveniently, our whole team did have like the right skill set professionally between us. So like we have Miri with comms and PR, and an ad hoc sense HR
And theater.
and theater. Honestly, in theater though,
Yeah, and
actually,
production,
like, the amount of times we've had to step in to be like the entertainment on stage is more than we can count, and we do it happily because like the
It's so
entertainment is
fun.
just having
Totally.
fun.
Yeah. It's the best.
And you know, I have a background in partnerships, media production, and like large live events. And then we've had co-founders and other people involved who also brought their skill sets. Doesn't mean there wasn't a big learning curve. I don't think any of us have done anything quite like this.
Yeah.
But
Learning to run a business is quite a challenge. I will say
Yeah.
that's been a fun one for me because I just stepped into finance and admin. So I'm having the best time of my life.
So what does then like a typical event day look like for people that like wouldn't know? So let's use for those who don't know, because we haven't plugged enough, and I will plug it even more, is there's the upcoming event on April 7th at Rebel that I'm co-hosting.
Yes.
It'll be Jacob's first time at a Taylor Swift dance party.
It's true. I'm excited.
It's the closest you'll have gotten to Taylor Swift. I love
and I
it.
love
Honestly,
watching
yeah.
people. I love watching people experience it for the first time.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is something we've done so many, but
We have converted so many people into Swifties. Like,
I love
really.
that. I'm
Friends
making-
who are like, I'm not a fan. And then by the end,
I'm-
they're like, kind of a fan.
I'm making Nolan come. He's coming to the pre-party for sure. And
Oh,
he's
he's
like,
gotta
no,
come
he's
to
He
this.
can,
I know,
he can
I
hang out with
know.
Brian.
Okay, amazing.
There's
okay.
always the
Right
boyfriend
to the
section.
pre-party that they can hang out.
Stood in the middle being like, I'm hanging out.
For sure.
I
because-
refuse to be the boyfriend section. I want to be on stage.
No, okay, done.
Done.
I said we
Sold.
should. I want to get Jacob a shirt that says "Fuck the patriarchy." I think that'd be so good.
We literally were maybe
wanna-
going to
Okay.
make those.
Okay, 'cause
so
I
we
think
could
you
make
should
them
have
for
one.
all of us.
You should have one.
I'm in.
100%.
I'm in.
So going back to the question though, typical event dates. We're gonna use Rebel as an example. April 7th. If you don't have tickets yet, there's still tickets available. What's a typical event day look like for you guys? Do you wake up just like in hot sweats, like stressed, or what?
For a Rebel event, yeah, I think so. Honestly, for other ones at this point, we've done so many of them. Like, it is a little bit like clockwork in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, we know how it's going to go. For the most part, I'm just really excited about it. But Rebel is a different scale. Like, for those
Yeah.
who don't know, Rebel is huge. It's like up to 3,500 people in that venue. So you're basically
It's like running
in
a
a giant
full-blown concert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And there's like huge production, like there's a whole run of show, like it's a proper production.
But
so,
even like what people wouldn't realize is like timing like the videos on the screen, like with like your DJ and making sure like those logistics, like who handles that, and is that like collaboratively you're all like working together on it, or is it just like how does that work?
that's what we're chatting about after this.
We are. Typically, we've started to get into a good rhythm where like we each take the lead on like on various shows. So
Yeah.
like we don't all have to do all of the shows. An interesting thing though is that that setup changes from city to city a little bit in the sense that like we go to the small towns sometimes, small cities. And so there's places like Rebel where it's like there's tech run throughs, as Miri was mentioning, and like some of the most high tech systems you can imagine. And then there's other venues we'll get to, and they'll hand us like a semi broken HDMI cable and be like, will this do? And like we play the videos from our laptop, and like literally to change the videos, I like shut off the screen, pull out my laptop, switch it manually, and then plug it back in.
And then partly like that's been something we've had to figure out too, is in those venues, like what can we do to make those special? Like we've even had a couple of venues more in the past, but that didn't have screens.
Yeah.
So how do we, print out funny signs or like funny bottle service things or whatever else that just makes the experience fun and equally great no matter what the production level is.
And I love that too, because I mean, I feel like so commonly, I mean, like selfishly, we're in Toronto. So like everything comes here, everything happens here. I mean, like look at Reputation Tour. Taylor came and did 2 nights here and that was it. Like I know that Toronto gets everything. So I think it's really special you guys have been able to like give this to all of these like smaller markets as well. And I feel like, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to speak for the smaller markets, but I assume that they appreciate it a lot.
That's actually one of my favorite parts of doing these is we get so many DMs from people being like, we never get to go to concerts, and this was the most fun thing that I've gotten to go to in so long.
Well, it also shows just like how big her community is, right?
Yeah.
And how wild the fans can be.
Yeah.
So are there some wild things that have happened at these events? I think I saw like a couple of videos of things that maybe went down, but like proposals perhaps.
Yeah, that's something that always
I
comes
think
up.
that's what I saw.
You want to take that one?
I mean, the proposal is the one that always comes to
Where
mind.
did it happen?
Immediately. That was in
Halifax. And early on, that was like a month or two into us starting this. It was our first West or East Coast event. And someone just reached out and was like,
So they contacted you in advance.
Yeah, he reached out and was like, I really want to propose to my boyfriend.
And it was sold
he
out,
loves
so-
Taylor Swift. Yeah, he needed tickets, so we had to get them tickets.
So he was just simply asking for like one extra ticket, and we're like, wait, you want to do a proposal? Like, let's do something.
Like,
bigger.
we'll
Yeah.
produce it from
No
that.
problem. Yeah. So I think we ended up coordinating like it was like a balloon drop or confetti. Oh, there were a bunch of confetti guns.
Oh,
so we worked with him
yes.
to do that during paper rings, and he said yes. So it's a really cute video of it. The other one that comes to mind too is we have people dressing up in the wildest costumes. I'm always beyond impressed.
Oh, amazing.
I love costume watching, like the Eras tour.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't even tell you how amazing the costumes were.
I feel like though people like just for anything Taylor dress up, like that's what your events are always amazing to me too. How many people like go all out dressing up?
They
as well.
do. And so one girl, I wasn't actually at this show, but there's a good video of it, dressed up like a crumpled up piece of paper lying on her floor. You'll get that if you're a Taylor Swift fan. And that video actually got posted on our TikTok, and Taylor herself went and commented on it.
I was going to ask, has there been interaction with Taylor herself?
A couple.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that
one.
video was one. We also did a street party during TIFF, and I think that was our first ever like interaction with her. So some of our events we do just because we think they'd be cool and not because they're like profitable in any way.
Yeah.
Like some of the smaller towns, there's not a big profit margin. TIFF we actually did for free and at a loss.
in like a day and a half.
Yeah, because she was coming for the.
Yeah.
Well, you were there.
You know, Sarah.
I was there. I don't remember anything about that conversation. I was just like staring the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
we posted a sign on that one. It was like a street party, and all these people joined in just like as they were walking along King Street, because we were right across from where the show was happening. And I think we put a sign out being like, Taylor Swift drinks for free. Because as you probably know, she did actually stop in once on a fan party and like drink margaritas with people.
Yeah.
So we figured why not? Anyway, we posted a video that had that on it, and she actually like liked the video or commented on the video. First of a couple.
Yeah, and then there was one of a whole bunch of people in Kingston screaming Karma like a week or two after it came out and knowing every single word. And she commented in all caps, "What?"
As a Queens alum, I was very proud. Sorry, TMU
You were
folks.
like,
but
my people. Oh, that's
Maybe one day she'll be at an event herself carrying one of the Jake Gyllenhaal heads around,
Oh,
perhaps.
I would pass out.
That's like liability everywhere.
Absolutely.
That's where the legal department
Do
comes
you,
in. And
as
it's just like,
someone
no.
that's not a Swiftie, do you understand the Jake Gyllenhaal references?
I will 100% get the Jake Gyllenhaal one. The paper, the scrumpled up paper, that one.
Scrumpled up paper?
Crumpled up. Okay. Crumpled paper, that goes beyond me.
It's a little
but
more
the
niche.
Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah.
You have
I
some
get
listening
Jake
to do
Gyllenhaal.
before April 7th.
Some homework.
You have a little bit of homework to do. Just
I'll listen to every album at least 5 times
At
between
least-
now and then.
Wow. Okay, then I want a song rank. I want you to know all the
A
words.
definitive of the
A
entire
definitive of all
discography.
I can't say that word. I already know that.
There's a quiz.
Discography.
There's a quiz. It takes a really
Actually,
long
to get
time.
in, you need to finish the lyrics.
And recite
Okay,
the bridge
yeah.
to Death by a Thousand Cuts.
You know what?
That's
Oh,
the
that's
test.
a good one.
That's the test.
Oh, this
Yeah.
is giving me like university flashbacks. I haven't taken
Like
a
a
test in
hazing.
a while.
We
Yeah.
kid, you'll have fun either way.
Yeah.
We were doing an event recently, and my brother-in-law was there. I swear he knows like one Taylor Swift song total, and the whole time he was just like nodding along, laughing. And at one point, I think we did actually have him holding up the "fuck the patriarchy" sign.
I love that.
He was having a good time.
See,
so.
that's I can get Nolan to do that. He'll wear a fuck the
Totally.
patriarchy
Yeah.
shirt and stuff. And he like literally the other day was like listening in his headphones, and he'll like always his headphones in and like bop around the apartment. I go, "What are you listening to?" Most of the time it's like Foo Fighters, blah blah. The other day he goes, "Nothing." I go, "What are you listening
What was
to?"
it? Oh.
And he goes, "Nothing." I go, "What are you listening to?" He's like, "Antihero." He goes, "But it's a really good song."
On repeat, probably?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
As if they aren't all.
I know exactly. I'm like, yeah, okay, you have to tell me that, but yeah, he was
Yeah.
listening to Antihero, so I'm like, it's in you. I just gotta pull it out.
So going back to people just wearing costumes and the community aspect around these events, it's obviously a place that people feel very comfortable being themselves. Like, how important was it and is it to create a space that's, you know, safe and comfortable for people to come and enjoy themselves?
I mean, I would say it's probably one of the most important things for us. Like, we haven't said this, I guess yet, but we work full-time jobs. Like, we're both pretty busy individuals. And so this isn't our full-time job. It's something we just do on the side. And honestly, sometimes it's tiring. Like, there's a lot to it. It's a lot of work. And one of the things I think that has kept us going this whole time is getting, and I'm not exaggerating, quite literally hundreds of messages from people saying, I've never felt safer in a space. It's been 10 years since I've been out to a club, and this is the first time I was able to go and actually have fun. So for a while, we were actually getting those messages and like saving them because they would inspire us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's super important to us. And as women, I think as well.
Yeah.
So I know you guys have like ambassadors and stuff. So like, what are some of the things that you guys do to ensure that like there is like safety at your events and stuff like that? If you can't physically be at every single one, because that'd be, as you said, you have full-time jobs. It'd be absurd for you to be at every single event. I know you guys tried at
Would
one
love
point.
to. Yeah, we did try at one point. It was tiring.
Well, so the ambassadors really came from realizing that we weren't able to go to every single event ourselves. And in that, like, we sort of for some events didn't all go to all of them. And that led to us not necessarily having like the oversight of every single event to be able to feel like we had that sense of control or feel like we had that sense of like visibility. I think receiving messages like the ones that Miri mentioned of feeling super safe sort of like lulled us into this like sense of safety ourselves that you know, these events are perfect, they'll always be perfect, and that's the end of the story.
That was really
true.
well put.
But we can't forget the fact that these are still nightclubs, and we are still women and going to nightclubs. And many of the people that come to our events have never been to a club before. Like, we get messages asking questions that kind of allude to the fact that they've definitely never been to a club before.
Is there water there?
Is there water there?
Really?
Yeah.
And you know, that can easily make us forget, like, these are still nightclubs, these are still late night events. And so there's this element of safety that we need to be hyper aware of with our audience, with our young, largely female audience.
Yeah. For a long time, I don't think we thought of this as a business. Like, I think we really thought of this, and I still sometimes do, as just friends running events, because that's really how it started. We never got in this to be like, let's make money. Let's start a massive business and do these events cross country. Not in our plan. In fact, often, again, as I said, we get so busy that we're like, why are we doing this again? But then at a certain point, you start to realize that people are paying for these events. They're expecting a certain level of safety, security, professionalism. So even if you're going and having a great time because you love Taylor Swift and you love your friends, and even though you own the company, you're just enjoying it, you need to give people the experience that they paid for.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big turning point for us, was starting to realize that. And since then, we've implemented what you were talking about earlier, Sarah, the ambassador program. We'd actually been wanting to launch this for a while, but basically we realized we couldn't be in every place at once, and we really wanted to be. At the same time, we have so many people reaching out to us being like, are you hiring? Like, I need a job. And we're like, it's not really a company, but can I volunteer? Can I send you my resume? So we basically decided that we were going to open up a new program where we'd essentially hire people. We do pay them, where we bring on people from every city that we go to. And they're basically given the responsibility to help promote the event, to be there themselves the day of, to be like a point of contact on site who is connected to the whole venue staff, has gotten training that Vic does personally, to make sure that they know what to do if there's any sort of issue. And then also just like to have fun, because they are all huge Swifties. I think we got like 300 applications for this or more.
Wow.
Yeah. And so they all have these cute ideas that they also get to implement at the shows,
I
which
love
keeps them
that.
fresh and fun. And it's just nice to expand our team.
Well, it's also for you guys. It's like it's that the turning point or that thing is bound to happen because you guys started this as like you said, you just wanted to have a Taylor Swift night with some friends, and now you're cross country, thousands of attendees.
Yeah.
Like you guys have more attendees than like some artists that go on tour as concerts. It's true though. So it's like it's like a growing business, and it's really been like cool since I've known you guys for like years. It's been really awesome to see.
And then speaking about transitions as well, and you've mentioned a couple times now you have full-time jobs and you're in this maybe moment of transition. Would you are you looking to expand it in any way to maybe sit here a year from now and consider it a full business, or where's the direction that you want to
Feed
take
other fangirls, do
Yeah.
other
Question.
We debate this constantly. I think, Taylor will always be our like core.
Yeah.
We honestly, I ask myself like every month, surely like people aren't going to want to come next month. Like surely people are going to get sick of it. But I've been
They've been
saying
already.
that for like 8 months. So
Yeah.
I don't think either of us are exactly planning to quit our jobs or like, and I'm not saying that just because our bosses might watch, but like
No,
genuinely,
it's probably
yeah.
similar, I think, to you, Sarah, honestly, where
Mm-hmm.
like I love my job and that's like such an important outlet for me and so
Mm-hmm.
different than what I do here. And I mean, I'm actually totally open about what I do with my bosses. They
Yeah.
see me doing all this stuff. And to me, this is like an outlet. Like I'm so passionate about Taylor Swift, about running these events, about Victoria and our team and our friendship and just meeting all these people that I would never want it to really start to feel like work.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
because then if you put all your eggs in that basket, for lack of a better term, and then if people did start to not show up to as many events,
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh my god, well now this is my job now, and how am I going to afford these bills and this and that? It starts to become that. If it's at its core still a passion project with friends and fans and music at its core, then you're also going to be able to be more free to create freely and build it bigger and better.
Exactly. We never feel forced, right? And
Yeah.
and you talked about, Sarah, how there are a lot of other brands doing this now. And I think what does differentiate us is that we do this because we like to do it. Like we're
Yeah.
not doing it just to sell tickets, because if we stop selling tickets, we just won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, we've always said that we'll do it until people just aren't interested. And for now, we just like having brainstorm sessions and figuring out fun
Yeah.
things to do and just seeing people be happy at these events. When that isn't happening anymore, I'll go back to my job.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
Well, this is a good point to plug the event that's happening again on April 7th. To finish this off, tell us, what can people expect if they've never been to a Taylor Swift dance party before?
Sure. So April 7th, we are doing a full takeover of Rebel, which is, I think, the largest nightclub in North America.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just going to be an incredible night of obviously Taylor music, but we also are really going all out with this one. It's Eras themed to kind of ease the pain of not having a national
tour
dates
dates.
yet. And I think to add to like why we still do this, we really, really care about doing events that we just personally feel proud of. And so this one, I think we're really trying to like add creative surprises and elements that will make us feel proud of the event. So,
Yeah, the show you put on.
But yes, Vic and I just went to see Taylor Swift in Vegas, and I feel like we got so much inspiration from that. We walked back from the show all the way to our hotel in the cold. It was
45
like
minutes walk.
45 minutes, and just got to chat about what we loved and things that we could do. So we're just excited to bring that to people. But yes, you can expect giant screens, a lot of production, fun moments.
Friendship bracelets.
Costume
Costume contest.
dancing
For
and
some lucky
screaming.
people.
Yeah.
For some lucky people, a pre-party.
Yes.
But it's sold out
It's sold
very
out.
quick.
Sorry.
So
Actually, though, if you do follow Talking Abouts on Instagram, we will be giving away a couple tickets. So
Ooh.
I'm turning this video. We shot this on a Tuesday, everyone. I'm turning this around for Wednesday morning. So
if anyone can do that, it's you.
Jet lag Sarah's
So
not going to
true.
sleep. I'm so excited. I'm excited for Jacob to experience his first Taylor Swift dance
Yes, I'm
party.
excited.
Thank you guys so much for being on the show. We appreciate it.
And collaborating with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
seriously.
problem at all.
I feel like more than anything, we want to say thank you to everyone who's come to our events and continue to make them so special, because our events would not be as special as they are without the energy that's in the room.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to share that energy on the 7th.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can say that I've had a very nice life. Like, I've enjoyed it, but the past year and a half has genuinely 1000% been the best time of my life. And it's just getting to meet so many passionate people, getting to literally run these with like one of my best friends. It's just been amazing. So thanks for letting us do that.
Welcome back to our voicemail segment. And just a reminder, if you have a question, you're curious about something, you want some life advice from us, you can comment on Instagram. DM us on Instagram. Not really comment on Instagram. I guess you can DM us on Instagram. You could DM us on Instagram or send us an email to talkingfastshow@gmail.com. You can send us a letter. You can call us up.
We won't give you our address, but you can
try.
Send it out there and see if it gets to us.
See what happens. So we are starting off with, because I just got back from Europe.
Yeah.
Stroop waffle or Belgian waffle?
Okay, Sarah, I don't know. I know what a Belgian waffle is, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know what this Stroop
Well, thank
waffle
goodness
is.
Sarah brought back 5 bags of Stroop waffles from
Okay, explain
Amsterdam.
this to me.
I don't know what's in it though, is the only thing. Basically, it's
Are they like chips?
no, it's like a cookie.
Okay.
The Nutri-Score on this is a red E, whatever that means.
Is that like bad?
I think so, because it's like sugar. Here you go. But these are the mini ones.
Look at the sugar dripping on the table. For
Okay, but
anyone just
also
listening,
sometimes they have these ones don't, but sometimes they have a layer of caramel in them.
It's a lot heavier than I thought. It's about the size of 2 loonies. And,
or 2 toonies maybe.
Yeah. Okay. ASMR.
You
And they're
can't
gonna go for the munch. I'm gonna try
waffles
this
are
out.
great.
Looks cool.
This
It's got
one's
like
deformed.
what do you call that? Like
Waffle?
a waffle pattern. Oh, whoa. Okay, I guess I should drink some more caffeine. Let's try this. Whoa.
It's not what you expect, right?
I thought it was gonna be a little crisper.
Crunchy. No, it's got this like gooey. So they're really good.
What is that?
You love to not drink things. You love to eat things while you drink your coffee and like dip things in them.
Big Dipper. We know this.
So I think you should try these.
Oh, this would be good. Okay. Can you buy them here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
know
check this
Farm Boy
out.
has them for sure.
Okay, that's huge. I like this. I
Good.
like this.
I mean, it's not the real deal stuff, but
So
it's
wait,
close second.
the question was
Stroop
Stroop waffle
waffle
or Belgian waffle. So what's the
Stroop waffle for me. I was never a waffle girl. I've never really liked pastries. I've never really liked I like bagels. I've never really liked pancakes, waffles, that stuff. But
Yeah.
I had Belgian waffles in Belgium, and they slapped. So
Okay.
maybe
well,
only Belgian waffles if I'm in Belgium. Year round though, Stroop waffle.
I'm gonna go Stroop waffle. You know what? I'm gonna give it to the newbie. Stroop waffle
I
is
love
the
that.
winner for me.
Wow, we've made you a Stroopy.
I'm a convert.
officially.
I'm a convert.
A
Yeah.
convert.
Second question for voicemail today, Sarah. How do you think AI can change your job? And this comes from Alexandra.
When I saw this DM, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like, whoa, okay.
It's a hot topic these days.
It's really interesting though, because the one consistent thing I've seen about AI coming into the space is that it can't take on creativity, like in the sense of the creative process. I mean, at least in my opinion, like I think it can build graphics and
Yeah.
maybe edit a video. If AI could edit this podcast for me and edit and make the audio all sound great and like make the proper cuts, that'd actually be kind of incredible.
Yeah.
You'd obviously always have to like go in and double check and everything, but if it made that process easier, I think that would be really cool. For my day-to-day job on the Olympics, we're not really seeing anything as of this moment for AI. I think research-wise, it helps when it comes to athlete research and all that. That just like takes away the tediousness of like my first job in the Olympics was being a research assistant.
Right.
I don't think that job will necessarily exist, but you still need people to physically do things. So
Yeah,
what do you
and
think?
I'm like, it's early days still, but like it seems
know.
every week or so there's this new advancement
know.
in some kind of AI based technology. I don't know. It's tough to say where it's going to be in 5 years, just because things are going so quickly. You saw like did you see the Pope jacket video
No.
photo the other day that
No.
like people thought was real, but it was an AI generated photo of the Pope in this like
that was
snazzy-
AI generated?
Not real. Not real.
That's the one thing that's going to be a little scary though, is like there's already like the big discussions about fake news and this and that. So
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff
all
that's,
kinds of
like-
ethical conversations around it. I think though that like A lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to ruin a lot of jobs. It's going to, shut down certain industries. Probably the case in some respect, but also because we are in early days, there's a huge opportunity to, I think, like be on the forefront of adopting things and just trying things.
Yeah, that's true.
When any new technology comes out, there are kind of hiccups and learning, growing pains and that kind of thing. But like, who knows? It might be able to elevate
So if
jobs
I just
that we're
gave
already
somebody,
doing, like you said.
if I just gave somebody the idea to build an AI editing system, or I could just go do that myself.
Yeah, I mean,
sell
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, we'll timestamp it. It's we've got it. Yeah, I'm not too concerned, but I mean, maybe I'll play this back or an AI generated clipper will play this back in a few
There's an
years.
AI out there laughing at us right now. Just like, wait 5 years and you will be done.
Exactly. So I really loved this question as a way to end off the show. We did have to prep a little bit for it. I will say I did not prep as much as I would have liked to for this question, but I told you to prep and I think you did.
I did it. I thought very hard about this question.
Okay, so if you were going to have a dinner party with people dead and alive, who would you invite? We decided it's going to be 5 people you invite because a dinner table is like 6 people. You're the 6th. So you get to invite 5 people dead or alive. Who is showing up to your dinner party?
Yeah, and the people who are dead are coming back to life, presumably, right? They're going to be alive. It's not going to be a weird situation.
And you get to pick what version of themselves are in it. That's another thing we could have decided.
What do you mean?
Like if I wanted Queen Elizabeth to come, could I have picked Queen Elizabeth at 27 to
Yeah,
come?
for sure.
Okay,
I think
got
so.
it.
I
Cool.
think so. Mine aren't that specific though. They're a little bit more like, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so you've got 5 spots. Obviously, I take up one of them. So who are the other 4?
Well, you're there for sure. But I have another list of 5. Okay, so I kind of went categorically because I want to have a good swath of people in there that are going to bring something different to the dinner party.
I can already tell I should have gone first, and this is going to annoy me how good yours is. Okay.
Okay, so it's a dinner party, right? And I always think of myself, I'm a good sous chef and I'm great at doing the dishes, but I'm not the best cook. I'll be the first to admit that. So I'm going to need someone to bring the food and make the food for the party. Someone who I also think is just like, or was an super interesting personality. I'm bringing Anthony Bourdain as my number one. I think he's going to have great food, first of all, but also just be like a really good conversationalist to keep the vibes going at the table. After that, speaking of vibes, and I think I've even mentioned this before on the podcast, but if I'm having a dinner party and I need the vibes to kind of show up for the night, I have to invite Janelle Monáe. So Janelle Monáe is coming.
Okay. I love that.
We're going to have a good cross-section of like music, culture, all sorts of stuff.
Fashion will be the best dressed person there.
Exactly. Yeah. It's going to be, I think Janelle will add some like really good quality to the dinner party. After Janelle though, listen, I definitely can't stand up to Anthony Bourdain and Janelle Monáe myself, so I'm gonna have to have like an inroads for talking to the people that are at the table. Running is something that I'm into, so I'm bringing the world record holder for the marathon, the Kenyan runner Eliud Kipchoge. He's gonna be there.
Wow.
He's also a really nice guy, so I think he'll bring like this humble vibe to the table. You know, if someone needs to stand up and help me clear the dishes and like do the, get the dessert ready to go, I think that he's standing up and offering to help first and foremost. Plus, he'll probably do it really quickly, so we'll get to dessert. We'll get to dessert faster, so I can get those stroop waffles popping. And then another Deddy.
Is this number 4?
This is number 4.
Okay.
I'm doing a speed run of this. Number 4, some person that I like back in the day, throwback to like CBC radio. I'm bringing Stuart McLean. Final Cafe Stories. He's been gone for a little while now, but I think he's like was a Canadian icon. Big fan of Stuart McLean. He's gonna be at my table, and then I'm gonna need some lightening of the mood. We're gonna need some jokes, but also keep it a little dry. So one of my favorite comedians is Tig Notaro. She's hilarious.
She's in that really bad movie I watched with Ashton Kutcher and
which one is that?
The one where they live on opposites, a rom-com. It wasn't good, but anyway, she was the best part of the entire movie.
Oh,
so that's
fantastic!
All, that
Tig is so
really good. That is so well rounded.
Okay, let me run through your list here.
Okay, well, while you were speaking, I thought of 2 swaps I'm making.
Oh, we're making some last minute trades. We're on the phones as
the
draft is happening.
We're making changes.
This is huge.
In my number 1 spot, that's what this entire episode was about. It is no surprise because I've mentioned it at least 3 times in this podcast that the only time I would want to have a discussion with this person is in a dinner setting where I could speak to her for hours. Taylor Swift in the number 1 spot overall.
Of course.
In the number 2 spot, closely behind though, this is my first, as Jacob referred to them, Deddy.
Is that rude? Probably. I mean it affectionately.
This person, I think we all want answers, and I think this person has them, and
Whoa.
we never got to really know what happened. I'm going Princess Diana.
Oh,
number 2.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think, and I want Princess Diana, who's been dead, watching everything happening, coming back to life and telling me all the tea.
She's bringing the talk about high tea.
Yeah, high
Ooh,
tea.
Get the
I know.
sandwiches. Let's go.
I know. I made this swap because you pointed out wanting somebody who is like funny, and I think that's great. My favorite comedian is Eliza Schlesinger.
Okay,
and
yeah.
she's really good at being funny without being mean, and that's why I like her.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Like she's a very good. I think she's like a girl's girl. Like she'll bring the energy. And that is 3 people. My number 4 spot, my guy, the fastest on the track, Lewis Hamilton.
Whoa.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah,
Why are you looking
the
at me
driver.
like, what?
The driver. When you said fast on the track, I was expecting Usain Bolt to come out of your
No,
mouth.
he was a close contender.
Okay, Lewis Hamilton. That's a great pick. That's a great pick.
Again, we don't know a lot about Lewis. He's a very like quiet guy. We know he's a nice guy, but like I feel like there's this like anger and like spirit underneath him that I really want to get to know.
Just like Taylor Swift, you get 2-3 hours. You're
and
gonna get some stories.
I got a couple Brits, so like they can hang out together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they'll like understand each other. And in my final spot, in my number 5 spot, I've got America's sweetheart, Hilary Duff.
Oh,
I think Hilary Duff knows some of the secrets of the biz without getting like all caught up in it. She managed to be around for a very long time without having to like get into like the drugs and all like the bad stuff.
Yeah.
So I think Hilary Duff is really interesting.
Like I said, someone who's going to help you clear the dishes. Hilary Duff's in that role for sure.
100%. Hillary is a sweetheart. And I mean, I did just finish the latest season of How I Met Your Father today, so maybe that's why she's top of mind. But I would just love, and don't know, maybe her and Taylor sing a rendition of Come Clean.
Whoa.
Wouldn't hate that.
We can only hope.
Yeah, we can only hope. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Talking Fast. We are here every Wednesday. As always, I am Sarah, that's Jacob, and we'll see you next week.